The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most mysterious places on our planet. For many years, people have been fascinated by strange stories of ships and airplanes disappearing in this area of the Atlantic Ocean. The region is roughly shaped like a triangle, with its corners at Florida and the United States, the island of Bermuda and Puerto Rico. Sailors and pilots travel through this part of the ocean every day, and most of the time nothing unusual happens. However, throughout history there have been several incidents where large ships, strong aircraft, and the people inside them simply vanished without a trace. Because of these unusual disappearances, many people began to describe the Bermuda Triangle as a place where the sea eats steel and souls, meaning that even strong metal ships and human lives are swallowed by the ocean as if they never existed. Although scientists say natural causes are responsible for most accidents, the mystery remains strong in the minds of people everywhere. The story of the Bermuda Triangle truly captured the world's attention. After the famous disappearance of Flight 19 in 1945, on December 5th of that year, 5 U.S. Navy training airplanes took off from Florida for a simple practice mission. They were known as Flight 19, and there were 14 young men on board. The weather was normal and everything should have gone exactly as planned. But soon after the flight began, something strange happened. The flight leader sent a message to the control tower saying that the compasses were not working. He said they were lost, confused, and could not recognize the ocean below them. The pilots' voices sounded worried and desperate as they tried to figure out where they were. Even though they were trained professionals, they could not find land and continued to fly deeper into the Atlantic Ocean. After many hours of confusion and fear, their fuel ran out and their radios went silent. The 5 airplanes disappeared completely. No one ever found the airplanes, no bodies, no debris, nothing at all. The disappearance became even stranger when a rescue aircraft with 13 more men was sent out to search for them. This rescue plane also vanished without leaving a single piece behind. The double tragedy shocked the world and made many people believe that something supernatural or dangerous might exist in the Bermuda Triangle. But Flight 19 was not the first mysterious disappearance in this region. Almost 30 years earlier, in 1918, a gigantic U.S. Navy ship called the USS Cyclops vanished while traveling from Barbados to Baltimore. The ship was enormous, almost 550 feet long, and it carried more than 300 people along with tons of metal ore. There was no sign of trouble before the ship disappeared. The weather was calm, the crew was experienced, and everything seemed normal. Yet the USS Cyclops never reached its destination. It did not send a distress signal, and no one saw it sink. Despite a massive search by the United States Navy, not a single piece of the ship was ever recovered. Some people believe the ship might have suffered a structural failure, while others think it was attacked or hit by a giant wave. But without any physical evidence, the fate of the USS Cyclops remains one of the greatest mysteries in naval history. Another strange story from the Bermuda Triangle comes from the year 1881, involving a ship called the Ellen Austin. The ship was traveling through the Atlantic when the crew spotted another ship drifting quietly in the water. When the captain approached, he realized that the ship was a ghost ship. There were no people on board. The ship was in good condition with no signs of damage or violence. Wanting to bring the empty vessel to port, the captain sent some of his own sailors to board the ghost ship and sail next to the Ellen Austin. For a while things went smoothly, but after a sudden storm, the two ships became separated. When they finally found the ghost ship again, the sailors who had been placed on board had vanished just like the original crew. Once again, the ship floated empty and silent over the water. Some people say the event happened exactly this way, while others believe the story may have been exaggerated. But it still remains one of the most chilling tales linked to the Bermuda Triangle. In the late 1940s, 2 British passenger airplanes also vanished in the Bermuda Triangle under mysterious circumstances. The first was the Star Tiger in 1948. The airplane was flying from England to Bermuda with many passengers on board. As it got closer to Bermuda, radio contact suddenly stopped. There had been no sign of trouble, and the weather, although windy, was not considered dangerous. A full search operation was launched, covering thousands of miles of ocean, but no remains of the aircraft were ever found. Just 1 year later, another airplane from the same airline, known as the Star Ariel, disappeared in almost the same location. Unlike the Star Tiger, the Star Ariel was flying in clear and calm weather. Pilots had reported nothing unusual before communication was lost. Again, like many other Bermuda Triangle incidents, no wreckage or bodies were recovered. These two disappearances happening so closely together made people even more certain that something was wrong with this part of the Atlantic Ocean. Another mysterious case occurred in 1967 involving a luxury yacht named Witchcraft. The yacht left Miami with 2 men on board for a short trip. They sailed just 1 mile from shore when the captain radioed the Coast Guard and calmly reported that they had hit something. He said the boat had not been damaged, but he wanted assistance. The Coast Guard arrived at the location within minutes, but when they reached the spot, the yacht was gone. The night was calm, the water was smooth, and the yacht had special safety equipment that made it nearly impossible to sink. Yet, just like so many other vessels lost in the Bermuda Triangle, Witchcraft vanished without leaving behind even a single piece of floating debris. The Coast Guard searched an area of thousands of square miles, but nothing was ever found, and the 2 men aboard were never seen again. Over the years, many other mysterious incidents have been reported. Some small private airplanes disappeared from radar even on days with excellent weather. In several cases, pilots radioed that their instruments were malfunctioning or that something felt strange just moments before contact was lost. Fishing boats and cargo ships also vanished without warning, leaving behind families who never received answers about what happened to their loved ones. While many of these disappearances might be caused by storms, human mistakes, or mechanical issues, the lack of physical evidence makes the events appear far more mysterious and frightening. Many theories have been created to explain why the Bermuda Triangle has so many strange incidents. One theory suggests that the region has unusual magnetic forces that interfere with compasses and other navigation tools. If pilots and captains become confused by wrong readings, they may unknowingly travel far off course and run out of fuel. Another scientific explanation involves sudden and powerful weather changes. The Atlantic Ocean in this region is known for fast-moving storms, strong winds, and waterspouts that can form and disappear quickly. These can be dangerous enough to sink ships or bring down planes. Some experts believe giant rogue waves, massive walls of water that appear without warning could be responsible for the sudden sinking of large ships, including possibly the USS Cyclops. Deep under the ocean floor, methane gas can sometimes be released, reducing the water's density and making ships sink very quickly. Although this theory is debated, some scientists think it could explain certain sudden disappearances. There are also supernatural theories that people enjoy discussing, even though there is no evidence to support them. Some claim the Bermuda Triangle might be a portal to another dimension, or that extraterrestrial beings might be responsible for capturing ships and airplanes. Others link the triangle to the legend of Atlantis, the lost underwater city, saying that strange energy coming from ancient technology might affect anything entering the area. While these ideas make for entertaining stories and movies, scientists continue to say that the real explanations are more likely related to natural forces and human errors. Still, the question remains, why do people describe the Bermuda Triangle as a place where the sea eats steel and souls? The answer lies in the strange and frightening nature of these disappearances. Steel represents the strong metal used to build ships and airplanes, and souls represent the lives of the people who traveled through the triangle. Many ships and planes entered this region confidently, only to vanish without any trace. When something disappears without explanation, people imagine that the ocean swallowed it whole. This feeling is what created the dramatic and poetic description that the Bermuda Triangle eats both metal and human lives. It expresses the deep fear and confusion people feel about the unsolved mysteries surrounding this place. Even though the Bermuda Triangle has a frightening reputation, scientists point out that millions of people travel through it safely every year. Cruise ships, airplanes, and cargo vessels pass through the region daily. Most storms can now be predicted, and modern navigation tools are far more advanced than those used in the early days of exploration. Many incidents that seemed mysterious at the time may actually have been caused by simple mechanical failure, poor communication, or weather problems. But because evidence is often lost at sea, we are left with stories instead of facts. And when humans do not have answers, our imagination fills the empty spaces with mystery and fear. The Bermuda Triangle remains one of the world's most talked about mysteries. People continue to ask why so many ships and airplanes disappeared, why no debris was found in some cases, and whether something unusual truly exists in this region of the ocean. Scientists insist that there is nothing supernatural about the area and that natural explanations can solve most of the incidents. But the truth is that many disappearances still have no final answer, and this lack of explanation is what keeps the legend alive. Whether the mysteries are caused by human mistakes, dangerous weather, magnetic problems, or something we do not yet understand, the Bermuda Triangle will continue to capture the curiosity and imagination of people for many years to come.